inside the guest running on your virtual server. So when you boot up that virtual machine, what BIOS does it have? What hardware does the operating system think that it's running on? Because it's not running on your real hardware that the host is running on. It's running on this virtual hardware that really doesn't exist. It's running on this virtual operating system or this virtualization layer. So to answer this question, I pasted in the official virtual server emulated hardware configuration or specifications from this Microsoft web link right here. So these came directly from the Microsoft site. I want to give them credit for that. And how virtual server works is it emulates your BIOS as being AMI BIOS or American Megatrends BIOS using the Intel 440BX chipset, and it has the following onboard components. So you can actually go into the BIOS of your virtual machine, and I'll show you how this is done. And this is the BIOS that your operating system is running on top of, is this AMI BIOS. It gives you a floppy disk drive, a single 1.44 megabyte floppy drive, and mappings to either real floppy drives on the real hardware or virtual floppy drives. And we'll be working with virtual floppy drives later in the video. It shows you, or it offers you serial COM ports. You can have up to 2 serial ports, and those can be mapped to either physical serial ports, local name pipes, or files. It gives you a single LPT printer port that maps to a physical parallel printer port on your host hardware. It emulates a standard PS2 Microsoft IntelliMouse pointing device, but it can be mapped to a PS2 device on the physical computer. It emulates a keyboard, a standard PS2 101 keyboard, but it can be mapped to a PS2 keyboard on the physical computer. As for the network adapter, it's a multi-function network adapter. It emulates the multi-port DEC 100 megabit Ethernet network adapter with 1 to 4 network connections. In some cases, this other DEC network adapter may show up on the virtual machine as an Intel network adapter. These are the same. This virtual network adapter does not support VLANs. Now, as for the processor, virtual machines use the CPU of the physical computer, which means that a virtual machine has the same type of CPU as the physical computer. But the guest operating system only sees a single CPU. As far as memory, virtual server supports up to 3.6 gigabytes of RAM per